guys, welcome to the video lecture on Introduction to Accounting. So our topic in today's video is about the term assets and liabilities. Now let's understand what do you mean by the term asset. Now in financial accounting, an asset is any resource which is owned by a business or by any economic entity. It is anything that can be owned or controlled to produce certain value and which is held by the economic entity and which creates a positive economic value. So the value which is being created from that particular asset has to be of economic value, that is in terms of money. So an asset is a resource with economic value that an individual, from an individual point of view, from a corporation point of view, or country owns or controls with the expectation that it would provide certain future benefit. So that is the second most important point. So it has to have a value which has to give a positive economic value, which is in terms of money, and has to have a future benefit. The next important point is an asset is anything of value or a resource of value that can be converted into cash. So assets are something which can be converted into cash. Now let's understand the concept again. So assets are basically, there are two important points which has been discussed out here. First and the foremost, economic value and future benefits. So what it means that an asset will provide certain economic value and future benefits. That means if you use an asset, it is going to give you certain economic value which is in terms of money, or else certain future benefit, because if you use that asset you are going to get benefit in the future. Second most important thing, that asset can also be converted into liquid cash. So this is what the definition of asset is. That what do you mean by the term asset? So assets are anything which has certain value, which will provide certain economic value in terms of money and future benefits. That means, say for example, if I have a machinery can be a part of an asset, because machinery is something which provides an economic value. Machinery is something which gives me future benefit, because if I purchase a machinery, the machinery is going to give me service for a considerable period of time, at least say for example 5 years, 10 years. So it has an economic value, together with it provides certain future benefits. Second most important point is that assets can also be converted into liquid cash. I can anytime sell that particular machinery and can convert that particular machinery into liquid cash. So I hope you have understood the concept of what we mean by the term asset. So any asset which has an economic value, which will provide certain benefit to the company or to an individual, or which also can be converted into liquid cash. Now the second most important point here, what we require to understand is what can be an example with respect to the asset. So let's talk about the examples. Say for example, land and building. So I have a land, I have a building which I can convert into cash, as well as it has certain economic value. Second, it can be also something related to plant and machinery. Plant and machinery refers to, so plant and machinery, the machinery which I have in my business, that can also be converted into liquid cash and also going to provide certain benefit. Say for example, furniture which I have in my business, a motor car, a four-wheeler, a two-wheeler which I have in my business. Even something like debtors is also an asset. We have cash in hand, the cash which we have with us, the bank balance. So these are the few examples of an asset. So what we said, an asset is basically which has economic value, a value in terms of economic value, monetary value, and it provides certain future benefits. And it can also be converted into liquid cash. Now what I mean by converted into liquid cash, I can sell those assets or can exchange those assets and can make cash out of it. The next most important point is assets can be classified into two broad heads. One we say as fixed assets, another we say as current assets. Now we require to understand what it means. Now current assets are short-term assets that are typically used up in less than 1 year. So current assets are used in day-to-day operation of a business to keep the business running. Whereas fixed assets are those assets which are for long term, physical assets such as plant, equipment. So fixed assets are those which has a longer life, more than 1 year. Now what it means? So the difference between fixed asset and current asset is that current assets can easily be converted into cash. So can be easily converted into cash, and these are basically for a period less than 1 year. When I talk from the point of view of fixed assets, it can also be converted, but it requires time to get converted. And the second most important point here is that current assets is going to give you this service for a period of 1 year, less than 1 year, less than 1 year. But with reference to fixed assets, it's going to give you service, for more than 1 year. So I hope you have understood the difference between a fixed asset and a current asset. One of the major point of difference is that a current asset is going to give you service for less than 1 year, and these assets can be easily converted into cash. So these are what are said to be current assets. We'll come down to this particular point. Rather, on the other side, when we talk from the point of view of fixed assets are those assets which can be converted into cash. 100% can be converted into cash, but it requires time to get converted to cash. So let me add up. It gets time to convert it to cash, because you cannot sell it immediately and can convert it into cash. Secondly, this kind of assets, fixed assets, normally the service or the benefit or the value which is being provided is more than 1 year. Now, the example which we have cited here, where we talk from the point of view of land and building, machinery, then we discussed about furniture, motor car, debtors, cash in hand, and bank. If you take into consideration the points which has been highlighted, if you check building, machinery, furniture, motor car, this particular part, I'm talking of this particular part, these are basically fixed assets. Why these are fixed assets? Because if you check a building or something like, say for example, a plant and machinery, they are going to give you service for more than, because you have purchased a building or a land, so, or else you have purchased a flat, so you're going to stay in that particular flat for considerable long period of time. Or else if you want to even to sell that particular land and building, it will require time to get converted into cash. Similarly, a car, a motor car, at least you have purchased a motor car maybe for the next 3-4 years at least. So it is going to give you service for more than 1 year. Is that what is being highlighted here? Rather, if you can also sell it, but it requires a bit time to get converted. Rather, on the other side, when we talk from the point of view of debtors, cash in hand, and bank, you can go to any ATM and can collect the money within a short span of time. So these are said to be current assets. So what we said, the above examples, land and building, machinery, furniture, can be termed as a fixed asset. On the other side, something like debtors, cash in hand, and bank can be termed as a current asset. So I hope you have understood this basic concept of what is an asset. An asset is something which has economic value and which is going to provide me future benefits. And secondly, it can be converted into liquid cash within a time span. Now we have given certain examples. Certain examples has been highlighted here. We are just discussing from an elementary introductory point of view, from the point of view of a non-commerce students who are understanding this particular subject. So we said the assets can be further classified under two broad heads. One we say fixed assets, another we say as current assets. Now fixed assets and current assets, what are current assets? Current assets are those assets which can be converted into cash within a short span of time, and they normally provide certain economic value or service for less than 1 year. Whereas when we discuss from the point of view of fixed assets are those assets which will give you service or value for more than 1 year. That's what we said, that these are the examples what we said. It will provide me service for more than 1 year. And secondly, it can also be converted into cash. Fixed assets can also be converted into cash, but it will take time to get converted into cash. This is what is an asset, and the classification of an asset of fixed asset and current asset. Now there is one more important term which is known as intangible asset, which we are going to discuss afterwards. So let's discuss from the point of view of liability. A liability is something a person or a company owes. That means they require to pay. Owes means they require to pay. A liability is a debt owned by a company that requires the entity or the company or the organization or an individual to give up an economic benefit, because you require to pay a certain sum of money. So in financial accounting, a liability is defined as a future sacrifices of economic benefit, because since you are going to pay, you are not going to get the benefit. The other party is going to get the benefit. that the entity is obliged to make to other entities as a result of past transactions or any other past event. So what I mean by the term liability? Now liability means when the entity requests to pay a certain sum of money which stands due. So a liability is when an entity requests to pay a certain sum of money which stands due. So a liability can also be classified under two broad heads. So one we say as internal liability, the other part is external liability. Now this is with reference to where from we get the money. So liability can be termed as internal or can be classified as internal liability or else external liability. Now what I mean by the term internal liability? Internal liability is when you have, see, for a business you require what? You require capital. For a business, one of the most important point here which you require to understand that for a business you require capital. Now where from you are going to get this particular money? Capital. Either it can be that the shareholders of the company who subscribes to the shares can give you capital. Capital is something with which you're going to run the business. Or else you can go to certain external parties. External parties in the sense, maybe banks and financial institutions, where from you can take certain amount of money. So internal liability is basically liability which is being created from the point of view of shareholders who has contributed money to the business, because they are insiders. Shareholders are the owners of the company. So they have contributed certain amount of money by subscribing to the shares, which forms your capital, which is part of internal liability because you require to pay them. Now what you require to pay them I will discuss afterwards. External liability is where you have gone to a bank or a financial institution where you have taken a loan, which is also part of external liability which contributes to the capital. Now when we are discussing from the point of view of a shareholder, what you require to give? You require to give to your shareholder a certain sum of money in return to the capital which they have given, which we term it as dividend. So what is dividend? Dividend is basically the profit which the company has earned and will share with the shareholders. On the other side, when you have taken a loan, from bank or financial institution, you require to pay what? You require to pay. So when you have taken a loan, you require to pay a certain amount of interest. So liability can be classified under internal liability or external liability. Internal liability is the liability which is created from the point of view of shareholders who have contributed certain sum of money by subscribing to the shares, and the shareholder required to pay, the company required to pay certain amount of dividend to the shareholders. We'll come down to this particular term. On the other side, when you're discussing from the point of view of external liability is basically the money which you have borrowed from any bank or financial institution. Those people are external. Why we say this as internal? Because shareholders are owners of the company. Shareholders are said to be the owners of the company because they have subscribed to the shares. So that is the reason why we say it's an internal liability. On the other side, when we're discussing from the point of view of external to the company, which are banks and financial institutions, wherefrom I have taken loan and I require to pay interest. So the definition says, if you go back to the definition of liability and the classification, internal liability, all obligation which a business has to pay to internal parties can be termed as internal liability. Even it can be employees also. I have just given an example of shareholders. On the other side, external liability, all obligation which a business has to pay back to external parties. It can be banks, the other lenders, financial institution, where you have taken a loan, you require to pay certain interest. Now, how we calculate interest? So simple thing, if you have taken a loan of rupees, say for example 5 lakhs, if you have taken a loan of rupees 5 lakhs and 11% is the interest rate, so how much you are going to pay? Say for example, I'm just giving an example, so it will be maybe 5 lakhs into 11%, say per year. So you are going to give you an interest of rupees 55,000, which you require to pay to a bank or a financial institution. This is a very simple example which I'm saying. On the other side, what I mean by dividend. Now this is what you require to understand. Say for example, the company has finally had an overall revenue, I'm just giving an example, the company has earned an overall revenue of rupees, say 5 lakhs. And the expenses which the company has is rupees 3 lakhs. So finally, the company earned a profit of rupees 5 lakhs minus 3 lakhs is basically 2 lakhs. Now, total number of shares issued by the company, where many shareholders have purchased, is 1 lakh. So, dividend will be the total profit which the company has divided by the number of shares which the company has in the market, which comes to 2 rupees per share. Now, say for example, if I, who is Sudhir Kundu, holds 100 shares, so I am going to get, what will be the amount of dividend which I am going to get, and it will be directly transferred to my account. 100 rupees, 100 shares, I have 100 shares, and per share I am going to get 2 rupees as dividend, which means 200 rupees will be given. So basically this 200, where from it's coming? It's coming from the profit only. Basically the company is sharing the profit. So this 200 required to be paid as form of dividend to the shareholders, because the company had a revenue of rupees 5 lakhs. This is just a dummy example. Expenses is 3 lakhs. So profit is 2 lakhs. Total number of shares issued by the company is 1 lakh. Out of this 1 lakh, I myself hold 100 shares. So I hold 100 shares. So how we are getting dividend? Profit is 2 lakhs. Shares is 1 lakh. So profit divided by number of shares is dividend per share, which is 2 rupees per share. I hold 100 shares, so I am getting 200 rupees. So 200 rupees is a dividend. This what is an internal liability which the company has to pay me, because they have taken certain money from me. So they are giving this particular amount from the profit itself. So this is what is said to be an internal liability. This 55,000 which I have taken a loan 5 lakhs and giving an interest of 11%, 55,000 is basically an external liability which we require to pay within a particular year, say for example. Thus, what we have discussed in this particular class, in this video, we discussed about what is an asset which has certain economic value and which will give you future benefit. It can also be converted to liquid cash. That means cash in our pocket. Examples, I've cited certain examples. Then we said what? Assets can be classified as a fixed asset or current asset. What is a fixed asset? Fixed assets are those assets which can be converted, but it requires time to get converted, and they are going to give you certain economic value or service for more than 1 year. So important point is more than. On the other side, what I mean by current asset? Current assets are those assets which can be easily converted into cash. So it doesn't require much amount, it doesn't take much amount of time, so it can be easily converted to cash. Secondly, the second most important point is that it provides you service for less than 1 year. On the other side, so this is what we said about fixed assets and current asset, and we have seen here land and building is basically a fixed asset. It requires time, it gives you service for a considerable long time. Motor car, furniture will give you service for a considerable long time. We'll come back to debtors afterwards. We discussed about liability. A liability is said when an entity requires to pay a certain sum of money which stands due. So liability can be classified in internal and external liability. Internal liability is basically the liability which is created from the shareholders or employees, wherefrom you have taken certain amount of money in the form of capital, where you require to pay a certain amount of dividend. On the other side, external liabilities are all banks and financial institutions, where you have taken a loan and you require to pay interest. We have shown you how you have calculated dividend, and this 200 rupees is basically a part of the profit which you require to share from this 2 lakhs profit which you got, which you require to give it to the shareholders. I've just given one example. Sudeep is one of the shareholders. There can be other shareholders also. So we have discussed about liability, internal and external liability. Now let us discuss about the concepts which we have discussed in previous video relating to outstanding expense, prepaid, pre-received income, accrued income, debtors and creditors, and let's see whether these are assets or liabilities. If you remember, when we were discussing about outstanding expenses, we said expenses you already have got the service. When we are discussing from the point of view of outstanding expenses, we said that you already have got the service, but you still haven't made the payment. Now, if you haven't made the payment, you are supposed to make the payment within a certain span of time. So it is an asset or a liability. Naturally, it is a liability which you require to pay. You haven't paid. So outstanding expense is basically a liability. On the other side, say let's talk from the point of view of pre-received income. Now pre-received income means you already have taken the income in advance, and you haven't given the service. So if you don't give the service, you require to return the amount back. So under such circumstances, pre-received income can also be termed as a liability because you already have taken the money in advance, you haven't given the service. Let's talk from the point of view of a creditor. A creditor, who are creditors? Creditors are those who require to pay you certain sum of money, in the sense when you are supposed to, from your point of view, you are supposed to pay those parties certain amount of money. Since you require to pay a certain amount of money, it can also be termed as a liability. On the other side, so when we are discussing from the point of view of prepaid expenses, the prepaid expenses means that you already have paid a certain sum of money in advance. So if you have paid a certain sum of money in advance, you are 100% going to get service out of it. So it can be termed as an asset. On the other side, let's talk about accrued income. Now when you're talking from the point of view of accrued income means that you already have given service, but you are yet to receive the income. So you are yet to receive means to say you are going to receive. That's a part of income which you are going to get. You already have given the service, so it's also a part of an asset. On the other side, let's talk from the point of view of debtors. Who are debtors? Debtors are those who will be giving you money because they already have taken certain goods and services. So you are again going to receive a certain sum of money, then this can be termed as an asset. So here what we have discussed, the previous topics which we have discussed with respect to outstanding expense, prepaid expense, about income classification, pre-received income, accrued income, debtors and creditors, we have tried to classify it under assets and liabilities. I hope you have understood today's concept where we discussed about asset, classification of asset, then we talked about liability, classification of liability, and then we discussed about how we can classify outstanding expenses, prepaid expenses, pre-received income, accrued income, debtors and creditors under the head assets and liabilities. I hope you have understood. Thank you. Have a nice day.